Hey guys, I'm Junhan. Now for today's video, I'm going to do a comparison video between the latest and newest generation Honda Civic FL5 Type R as compared to the previous generation FK8 Type R. And by the end of this video, I want you to let me know down below which one would you prefer. Alright, let's go. Okay, just before I start with the comparison between these two cars, huge thanks to Gold Car Import, because if not, these two cars wouldn't be here. So they ship the car all the way from Japan back to Malaysia, and currently they're both here side by side. Alright, so let's talk about this car right here. So this is the latest and newest generation Honda Civic FL5 Type R, which is the 6th Type R in the lineup itself, based on the 11th generation Honda Civic FE, whereas this one is the previous generation based on the 10th generation Honda Civic FC. So this is the FK8 Type R. So these two cars, you can see, right, somehow it's very similar, but at the same time it's not. This one is much more mature looking, low profile, it's very subtle, whereas this one is very aggressive, very out there. You have a lot of design elements going on in the front. Okay, you have fake carbon fiber pieces, you got a lot of lines. Alright, so firstly, let's talk about the hood itself. So this one, if you notice, right, the hood, this one has a hood vent. You have a very huge hood vent right here, which allows air to escape from the engine. But on the FK8, you have a hood scoop, which allows air to enter. But this one is much more intrusive, it's much more showy. Alright, then if you take a look at the bottom as well, you can see the lights. So this one, you got a new headlights, which based on the FE itself, you can see it's very elongated. This one has a halogen housing, but it's fully LED. You got the LED daytime running light as well. Yeah, then you got a much enlarged intake in the middle. You got a Type R badge. Even the bottom here is enlarged as well to maximize air for it to go inside to the intercooler. But one thing I noticed is something that cannot run away is you have fake vents. So this one is just plastic. It doesn't go through. These are fake vents because this car is often criticized for having fake vents. But this car, the side here, the air curtain, this one is actually functional, but this is fake. Alright, so yeah, you can see the design element is almost the same. You can see this one also, here is intake, which basically air goes inside from the front as well. So let's take a look at the side profile. So if you hit towards the side, now this car, the side, right, this one uses 19-inch rims, whereas this one is 20-inch. Then you may be wondering, how come the newer car using smaller rim than the larger car one? Is good actually, because 19-inch rim, right, what happens is it's much lighter, which helps you with handling, okay, with performance and everything, okay. But this car actually has much wider track, because this car, the tires, right, is using 265 section. Basically, it's much wider, whereas this one, even though it's 20-inch, right, it uses 235 as well only, which is less grip. So this one is much grippier. Okay, then even the side right here, you can see this one, initially I thought it's fake, but it's actually functional. So if I have to put my hand inside, right, you can see it actually goes through. So these are functional to allow air to go towards the side of the car. This one, right, initially a lot of people think it's fake, but if you take a closer look, right, this part here is closed, this part here is closed and closed, but this two part is actually open. Okay, so this is actually functional, it's not fake. You have to pay attention to actually find out. Okay, then heading towards the side of the car, you can see this one has the gloss black piece. They run across towards the side. Then you have this end plates. This car as well has the end plates towards the back. Okay, now the back design. So this one is really controversial when it first launched, but people actually kind of like it, get used to it now. So this one, I think over time people will start to grow onto this design as well. So if you notice, right, this one is much cleaner. So if you see at the back, you got this fixed gloss black rear wing right here. Yeah, it's not as huge as the FK8, which is nice. Okay, then if this one doesn't have the vortex generator as well. And then at the back, you got this new tail lights, okay, that runs across all the way towards that side. You got a Type R badging right there. And then this part right here, I thought it's real as well, but he let me down. This is fake plastic as well. Okay, still fake vents around. Okay, but this one, right, the diffuser actually looks much better. You can see the diffuser, this one is very clean and tidy, whereas that one is actually very huge. So if you hit towards this side, you can see, yeah, but a lot of people actually kind of like this design because it's very aggressive, a lot of lines. Okay, then this part here is all fake. You can see one thing I noticed, this one has the Mugen tail lights, which is always nice. You got a spoiler right here, okay, secondary spoiler. You got the vortex generator here, which is functional. Okay, so this one thing I noticed, right, about this car is the exhaust. So this one has 3 exhaust pipes, but if you notice, right, this one exhaust pipe is big, small, big. But if you walk towards the FL5, notice it's small, big, small. I'm not sure if it does a difference, but it's a very tiny difference. If you pay attention, then only you notice. Okay, so let's check out the boot space as well. To open this up, you can see Obviously, because this one is a hatchback, you have a lot of space. One thing I love about the Type R, right, is basically it ticks every boxes because we have a manual. Okay, you want to go to track, you can. Okay, you want to drive it normally, daily. We have practicality. You can fit people at the back, 3 people at the back, which is the all-rounder car, which I feel is the perfect car if, let's say, you're a car enthusiast, but you have a family. All right, so let's take a look at this one. It's almost similar in terms of the boot capacity. If you open this up, you can see it's very spacious as well. Yep, so practicality, you don't have to worry. Now, let's check out the interior. Okay, just before I head to the interior, I forgot to mention about the engine. So these two uses the same engine, the K20 2-cylinder turbocharged engine, but this one produces around 10 horsepower and 50 Newton meters more as compared to the FK8 Type R. In terms of the pricing, right, these two cars, all right, if this car, if you were to buy new, right, it will cost you 400,000. But this car right here is Recon, is directly imported from Japan, so it's around 340-ish thousand, which is 60k less, but at the same time, right, this car is effectively brand new because it's a 1-year-old car, it's low mileage. I think it's only 4,000 mileage, which is really low. Okay, so this one right here is around, I would say Recon is around 240-250,000. Okay, so those are the price differences. But in terms of the interior, right, if I open this up, you can see obviously you definitely have red seats because it's a Type R, but if you notice, this one is actually much nicer. It's much more refined as well. You can see the Type R badging right there. Okay, you can see the interior. So this one is obviously based on the Honda Civic FE. So you can see you got this honeycomb grille on the van itself that runs across all the way there. Okay, then you also have the plaque right there. Now this one I'll go through in detail later on. So I just want to show you guys the quick differences as well. Even the steering wheel design is slightly different. Okay, you got a new infotainment screen, a new digital gauge cluster. Okay, then you got a new design onto the aluminum shift knob as well. So there are minor differences between this and that. If you take a look at this one, right, I'll open this up. So you notice the design, so this one is very different as compared to that. You can see this one doesn't have the floating screen. You have a much smaller screen that is integrated into the middle, the center console. Alright, but this one you can see the seat is much more sportier. You got some contrast with the black, you have the red as well. Okay, the Type R badging is not here, it's down here. Okay, so this one, even the steering wheel is much more sporty as well. This one is leather instead of Alcantara. You have some red accents around as well. Yeah, really, really cool. And then at the back, it's really spacious. You can see at the back, yeah, you got red seat belts here. Yeah, I can fit comfortably 3 person at the back right here, which is nice. Even you got this carbon fiber backboard for the front passenger seat. If you take a look at this one, I open this up. Okay, so this one you can see, this one is actually much lower now. Your position, you're actually, the car itself, right, when you're sitting down, it's actually much lower, give you a much sportier feel. Okay, you can see the design, the back is very different. You got this Type R badging, but now this one is plastic. The back here is all finished in this suede Alcantara finish, which is always nice. So yeah, but then this one I noticed, this one is slightly higher. So this one is, I would say, more of a 2+2 because you can see they have this integrated, instead of having the foldable armrest right now, they just integrated that. So I would assume this is a 2+2. Basically, you can only fit 2 person at the back. Okay, so now let's talk more about this car on the interior. Okay, so now we're in the cockpit of the new Honda Civic FL5 Type R. So if you notice, you got a new digital gauge cluster right there. So this one is very self-explanatory. So you can scroll through different things using this. So you just scroll the wheel, you can FM, all right, or everything you want to. So this one is currently in Japanese right now. Okay, then on the right side as well, you can just control using this right here. So you can go through different things, you can scroll through. Yeah, it's very self-explanatory. But what's really cool is the mode itself. So this one is still the same. Basically, got comfort. Okay, so this one is comfort. You can see you have the logo right there, like animation. Okay, then you go to sport, it turns red, and then this one is individual. So basically you can set up however you want it. Okay, so you can configure different things to suit your likings. But if you press to plus R, take a look at what happens to the gauge cluster. You press this, turns red, it gives you animation and changes to this. Yep, so because you're ready for the track itself. So if you rev it, right, you can see you have a different animation, which is cool. Alright, so here is very self-explanatory. It's very simple on this car. Okay, you have the aluminium shift knob, okay, which is nice, but it's very hot now because especially under the sun, right? So this, the bad thing about this is if it's winter, it's going to be very cold. If it's in the summer, it's going to be very hot. So yeah, it's kind of hot right now. Okay, so you got parking brake hole, you have 2 cup holders. This one is some space for you to put stuff. Okay, then this one you can see the honeycomb mesh that runs across all the way towards there. Then here you got the Type R with the plaque and also the car number what. So this one actually tells you the unit number 1137, okay, which is nice. On the old FK8 Type R, they actually have it right here, or here, I can't remember. So yeah, which is nice. You got a USB port, you can charge your phone. Okay, so all this is very nice. The sound is also very tactile, you notice? Yeah, I love the sound. Okay, so this one is much more modernized as well as compared to the FK8. Then you got this floating larger infotainment screen, whereas as compared to the FK8, what happens is you have a integrated one. This one is much nicer, much neater. Okay, so this one is much faster as well now. So everything is touchscreen, you can go through different things, but now it's all in Japanese, okay, which is nice. So yeah, inside on this car, right, there's nothing much to talk about because this car is mostly on the driving dynamics of this car. Okay, when you drive this car, right, yeah, it literally blows your mind of how fast this car is and how stable this car is. Obviously, you have 3 pedals, okay, so you have 6-speed manual, same as the old car. So it powers on the front wheels, driven on the front wheels itself. And yeah, I think that's about it between the differences between this car and that car. It's actually not much, but it's mostly on the exterior. Inside is more refined, okay? Yeah. And yeah, that's about it guys for my comparison video between the FL5 and the FK8. So like I said, comment down below which one would you prefer more, because I'm really curious to know which one would you prefer. If me personally, currently I'll still choose the FK8 Type R, but maybe that's because it's quite not fair because this car just recently launched. It takes time to get used to. Maybe over time I would prefer this more than that. Okay, so we'll see. And yeah, if you guys are interested to purchase any recon cars, whether from the UK or whether from Japan, feel free to contact us and we'll be able to sort it out for you to bring your dream car from Malaysia, from Japan or UK back to Malaysia and ultimately to your house. So yeah, with that said, if you guys enjoyed, please remember to like, subscribe, and share with friends, and I shall catch you guys next time. Ciao.